Sons of the Sunless World, charge!
Hey guys, what's good? It's your War Sage Midnight, and despite all the Night Lord swag on my channel, like the banner, the profile pic, and the name to some extent, it's been quite a while since I covered the 8th Legion on my channel. So today I'm back with a deck guide for Malcharion, the War Sage. You don't see him quite a lot lately, or not at all. Usually when you see Night Lords, you usually see a Whisper's Curse or an Aggro Savitar. Although I think Malcharion has one of the best synergies for the 8th Legion here because of his battle honor, so you get rewarded to bash into stuff and kill it, which they are really good at because all of the different ways they have to reduce the enemy troops' attacks, and he also buffs the attacks of troops. And that's also particularly good in Night Lords because they have terror on most troops, which benefits from having a higher attack than your opponent's troops. I've been playing him on and off, and I had very decent results with him. I'm pretty sure you can top 50 of him if you put time into it, unlike me. And I'd say, without further ado, let's check out the deck. So our Warlord is Malcharion. As I mentioned, in my opinion, he has the best synergy with his Legion by buffing attacks, and the battle line is also quite good. What this enables us is also to play some combos, since we will usually have a little bit more draw than some of the other Night Lords will, but later to that. So this is the deck, and on first sight it just looks like a normal mid-range Night Lord deck which you would probably play with Savitar, but I've built in a couple fancy combos and one or two cards which synergize well with Malcharion, so let's go over it. The first card is Displaced Civilians. They are great here. Why? I will explain. First of all, you can use Displaced Civilians on one energy, like a turn 1 play, to kill the civilian which will spawn for your opponent to draw a card. But there's more. Of course, there's Endos Shack synergy. Yeah, for example, we have Fierce Onslaught here. With Endos Shack, it's just like game ender if you can wipe a whole board with Shack. And killing the civilians will add 2 more attack to Shack. Then there's also Punitive Action. We get 2 civilians on our side of the board, that means Punitive Action will deal 2 more damage. So there are a lot of uses for this card, honestly, and I really like them. They enable so many combos. Too bad they're 1 energy now, but I guess it's fair. Some of those things were kinda toxic. Next card is Dirty Fighter. Really not much to say, it's really good utility because, well, Malcharion's battle honor is easily triggered with that. It also draws as a card. Most of the time you can use it like as a one play if you didn't draw Wrecking Claw and use as scouts to cycle and just do some free damage. Then we get Fierce Onslaught. You should run at least 1 copy in my opinion, any Night Lord stacks, because it is simply so good with Terra, especially with Shack, but you can use it with almost every card. We have also Valkyrie here who really profits from it. The more it attacks, the more it kills, the stronger it gets. That applies to like Shack and Valkyrie, and of course any other troop with Terra can profit from it. I put in 2 copies simply because it's just so good here. Even if you just wipe 2 troops with it, I think it's worth it. I mean, the effect is permanent, not only for 1 turn, so you can use it whenever it's fitting. Then we get the Scouts. So they are not that great. You don't want to focus on buffing your stuff too much with Malcharion, honestly. But we don't have that much to play on 3 energy, and buffing them is just an okay turn 2 play, so to say. Worst case scenario is they will sit in stealth and provide 1 more damage to punitive action. They also help us a little bit with the battle honor if our opponent plays something like Chew Bag, or Mar Veterans if you're in a mirror match, or Last Rifle is a pretty common troop, so I think they're good, yeah. You can buff them once and find that, like, don't focus on buffing them too much, but they provide a good amount of utility, and I think they're still worth to play. Then we got Wreck and Claw. I think that's a staple for any Night Lord deck. They provide free flank, now sad, and they have stealth. So yeah, again, they sit around there in stealth, making our punitive action do more damage. If all those terror troops we have flank, it's just amazing. It's like the best board control tool the Night Lords have, and you should always put at least 2 in your deck. Sure, if you have 1 on the board, there's no point in playing the second one, but most of the time the first one gets killed somehow. Like for example, your opponent will use Informant Network on it and then face bash it, then you have your second one in hand to kill it. Your opponent uses anti-stealth, and the Shack is now basically free to sit there and stealth and gain more attacks, so excellent card. Our anti-stealth tech of choice here is Informant Network. You can also run something like Arcadius at that spot simply because it's cheaper and you can combo Arcadius with punitive action, but Informant Network does some damage and yeah, I simply like it more. Then we get Nostramo. You also run it in almost every Night Lord deck or any Night Lord deck. I think it's just a very good utility card. It has no particular synergies, but disabling the enemy's board for a whole turn is very strong, also draws you a card, so again, just a Night Lord staple goes in here. Urma Veterans, insane 3-drop terror 3-3, amazing stats. For free energy, I mean like the terror combined with the 3-3, and it also buffs adjacent units, not troops, so all your Warlord as well. Helps with the battle honor. Yeah, overall, just for a free energy common, it's an amazing card. So much utility, very strong. Reason not to include 2 here as well. Then we get Mercy and Forgiveness. So this card is not that essential in Malcharion, in my opinion. Usually when you have Mercy and Forgiveness in your starting hand as Curse, for example, you certainly want to keep it. Here I usually mulligan it. It's only really good late game in my opinion when you have ways to reduce the enemy Warlord's attack with stuff Haunted Dreams or Headsman, so you can bash into it twice or buff something twice with your ability. So yeah, it's still very good having Bloodthirst on your Warlord. It has a very strong effect, but it's not that essential here, since more or less we are more likely to win with our troops than with our Warlord face bashing the shit out of our opponent. We got Night Raptors, just a very solid 4-drop. Overall, in my opinion, for energy for 3, gets stealth on rally, so very unlikely to be killed. Also has Terra, very good synergy with Malcharion. You can play them turn 3, and next turn, if your opponent thinks like, well, I'm just not gonna play something which has less than 4 attack, you can buff them with Malcharion, then they go up to 6 attack. So not much to say here, just a very solid good to play on 4. If you buff it, they become quite a good damage dealer. Then we got Threx Squad, another amazing flanker for energy for 3 with Terra and Flank, so baseline stat for those 4 energy common flankers. Terra makes it really good though, so also kind of a stable, 2 copies here. Endless Shack, this is more or less the guy who wins us games by his own if he's not checked. That also goes in any Nightlord stack. We have the Fierce Onslaught combo for him, so he can go up to huge attack stats, and be smart with him. Yeah, he's somewhat of a win condition, but if he sits there in stealth at like, I don't know, 10 or 12 attack, and your opponent is like, maybe a World Eater at 8 energy or something, which doesn't very often, but just to make an example, you need to know what your opponent plays more or less, so don't use him too wisely if you know something like a board wipe comes up from, well, Assist of Science is a better example. So use him wisely, but don't be too hesitant. If he has a high enough attack, just do the damage to your opponent. Keep in mind you paid 5 energy for this guy. If he's gonna deal 10 damage, that's already really worth it, and your opponent will still have to deal with him. And more 5-drops. Yeah, the Nightlords are a pretty bloated 5 energy spot, but these guys are just so good. We have Haunted Dreams, 2 damage if target survives -2. Really good with our Battle Honor to kill stuff, or you can use it on the enemy Warlord just to get free face bashes in. Same goes for the Headsman, but this guy doesn't deal damage, but he's an excellent flanker, like actually devastating. On 5 energy you can either disable the enemy Warlord for a turn again, or you can trade into something which has 7 attack, because he gives -3 to something, yes, and he can kill it with the Terror without taking retaliation. Excellent card, so good stats and utility combined, really good card here. Then we got Punitive Action. This is our board clear, as I mentioned. This is the kind of funky stuff I built in. You don't see this too much, but it's just very good in Malcharion because we can go into the combos more easily with displaced civilians. We have stuff sitting in stealth like the Scouts, like the Wrecking Claw. Yeah, obviously you don't only want to use it when you have the displaced civilians to add 2 extra damage, so it will take at least 3 with displaced civilians. But yeah, most of the time, just keep it in hand to wipe the enemy board. You can also bait them into playing more stuff with Nostramo, like I got 6 energy. Put down Nostramo, put down, I don't know, Urma Veterans, slam to the enemy Warlord, he plays more stuff. And next time you play more stuff, and keep the displaced civilians in mind when playing this. And yeah, besides that, it's just the death stats above the RNG. You control how much damage it does. It deals up to 7 though, so pretty strong actually if you can pull it off. And Reaper of Kaldrak, another stable, not much to say here. Terra, 5-6, 6 energy and gives counter attack, just a very solid stat line with good utility. Decent flanker, like the Headsman, and yeah, just a very solid troop overall, no reason not to run. Then we get Veteran. Guy you also don't see too much, but this is like a defensive Shack. Shack sits in stealth and waits till he can strike. Veteran can also serve as a front line, and against World Eaters again, sometimes the games take longer because we have Headsman, Haunted Dreams. We have many ways to stall them a little bit, and usually don't have that many ways to go through a 9 health front line. He suffered a little bit from the ordnance change on many cards, but nonetheless I think he's very solid, especially in Malcharion, since we're playing their Fierce Onslaught buff, and he also benefits from attacking multiple times in a turn. He can, as mentioned, also turn into an Endless Shack. On 10 energy, for example, if you have a Wrecking Claw on board, you can play the Veteran, give him Fierce Onslaught, and wipe the enemy board completely. And we top it off, of course, with the Raven, very simple finish, and an Energy 8/8 King Crush of Horus Heresy Legions. You can use it as a non-finisher. You can, since it's a troop, you can just play it on 9 and smash into something. So yeah, that's the deck. Just solid Night Lords mid-range, and we put some nice combos in here and synergies for Malcharion. But as usual, if you don't agree with me on some of my card choices, or if you're missing some of these cards, Night Lords are relatively epic and legendary heavy, I got some card alternatives for you. So first of all, the Night Lord cards. First cards, I'm gonna combine them here because this is a neat little combo you can play. It's Trophies of Judgment and Nostraman Chainglaive. There are also two other cards which are part of the combo, namely Fierce Onslaught and Displaced Civilians. I hope you see where this goes. This is a high damage ODK combo. You usually want to play it with something like Shaq or a Veteran. So Shaq sits in stealth, you give him the Chainglaive, and then you play the Civilians. And then you have to line up your kills with Shaq, so you can hit the enemy's face multiple times, and that's what we have Trophies of Judgment for. You put it on the enemy's face first, so that Shaq can attack the face without retaliating. And since we have Battle Honor can act again and Cleave, it will trigger every time we kill something with Cleave as well, so you can slam into the enemy Warlord multiple times. Let's just line it up here, something with Displaced Civilians here, something with 4 health, something with 2 health. You can slam into him once, twice, 3 times, and by that time Shaq will reach tremendous amounts of attack. You got the combo. It basically does a shit ton of damage if you consider the placement of your enemy correctly. So yeah, but I don't know, you just don't need it. It's very funky and very surprising, so to say, but you don't really need it here. If you feel fancy, just include these two cards, and then you draw into a Shaq or a Veteran, and then you play those 4 cards, and then try your best to line up the kills so that you have a nice kill streak there. Next up is Night Attack. It's Deliverance for poor people, but I think it's decent in Malcharion. I mean, you can stealth your troops for another turn. It's like a 2 energy escape vent which draws more or less, but if you have 2 or more troops, it's certainly worth it. Especially good if you have cards with terror which you want, where you want to trade obviously all the time, like Shaq. If you give him flank, for example, and you want to kill something with that, yeah, but then he's exposed, so you use Night Attack after. Not a bad card, but fairly situational. It's just basically a worse Deliverance, so I skipped it here, but I think it's still a good add to try it out. Then we get Curse of Foresight. It's a very solid draw card for the Night Lords. 3 energy, draw 3, this is pretty good. You take damage for tactics, but yeah, that's not substantial. But we have enough draw in this deck from our Battle Honor, in my opinion, so I skipped it here. Nonetheless, a very good card if you want to add it. And we got the Convoyeur, a 3 energy flanker. I usually don't like it too much because it has not very good stats. It just gets to Faith Bash and doesn't have that high of an attack stat. But Malcharion can buff it. He can basically turn it into a discount Scimitar Jetpack from the Raven Guard. So a good rare add as well if you want some more control tools. Then we get Wall of Fear. It's a very cool card. It's devastating against stuff like Imperial Fist or Turret Spam or even Lucretia. But we have so many board clears here. We have double Fierce Onslaught. We have double Punitive Action, so don't need any more board clears. Hence I skipped it, but still it's a good card. Maybe run one off if you want. Then From the Shadows. Another flank option for the Night Lords. It has a double effect, so you stun something for 4 energy, which isn't that great, but the next group you play has flank and +2 attack. So the thing is here, you can also use it as a finisher, on 9 energy or an 8 energy for example. You stun something, and the next group you play gets 2 attack, so it can be a Raven as well, where you don't care about the flank, you just care about the attack buff. So you can't play Raven and play Malcharion's attack buff in the same turn. So here you can basically push out a 10 attack Raven. Besides that, it's your opponent will rarely play into it. It's like a 2-turn setup, so I don't like it too much. And honestly, Wrecking Claw doing that shit for free is good enough for me. So I don't like this card too much, but I saw it being used effectively multiple times. So if you want to try it out, go ahead. It's a nice substitute if you're missing the Wrecking Claw. Then we get the Hunt Mask. It's a 6 energy, 6 level stealth. I think it fits really well into this deck. I also played it here a little bit. The problem is that it's simply overshadowed by the epic version, like the Reaper of Caldrake. It simply has more utility. There's also the Headmaster, a 5 energy troop, which does basically the same but better. But yeah, as mentioned, he synergizes well with Malcharion's ability. He gains stealth for a turn, and then you can set up like doing 8 attack, maybe even something with his Onslaught, where it wipes the whole board. So decent here, but as mentioned, overshadowed in terms of utility by the other options. The Night Lord. We got Spectre of Judgment. This is a Night Lord's heart removal. I think it's decent for 7 energy. The removal, yeah, 7 energy is quite expensive, but the 2 damage to adjacent is too shabby. It can help us with our Battle Honor, but we have so many ways to kill enemy troops, so I thought I don't need that heart removal sitting in my hand waiting for the right target. Night Lords hate troops anyway. There's no reason to include heart here in my opinion. You usually run that in Curse or in Servitor, who don't have that many ways like I do in this deck to kill stuff. But yeah, a good card, but I don't think we need it in this particular kind of deck. Then some neutral cards. First of all, I got the Nurglings. Honestly, I hope you see the synergy here. Honestly, I would play them if they wouldn't have maintenance 1, because you can buff them and definitely you can make them actually unignorable, yeah, with Malcharion, because they go up to 3 attack. They also help us a little bit with the punitive action playstyle, but I felt like they are too much of an investment simply. Like, you play them for 1 energy, then you return, you buff them, then you slam them into something, then your opponent kills them. Yeah, there's certainly stuff there, but as mentioned, the maintenance throws me off a little bit. It's just 1 maintenance, but still, it can fuck up your curve, and playing on curve is quite important. Then we got Melgator. He's pretty good in Nightlords because they have a lot of ways to reduce the enemy troops' attack, but in this deck I have the Huntmaster. And you don't want to combine it with the 100 Haunted Dreams, because the Haunted Dreams you want to kill stuff. But yeah, Huntmaster Melgator combo still exists, and there's also stuff like the Cacophony Commander where you no way to get rid of it. Like, this deck has no way to deal with Cacophony Commander except with at least 5 damage punitives. So still worth including, but I don't think he's here that good as in other Nightlords decks like in Sevatar, who can reduce attack by his own, like with his ability, or like Curse. Yeah, as you see, he doesn't shine here that much. I also don't have that good rally troops which have less than 4 attack. So I skipped him here. He's a very nice utility card. You see him in almost every deck, but yeah, as mentioned, I felt like I don't need him. Then we got Horus Heresy. I really love this card. It's very good for combo decks, it's very good to refill energy, it's very good to cycle, and in some situations you can also heal with it. It's just a very good neutral card. Because of its versatility, the effects by their own are not very strong, obviously, but the versatility is what makes this card great in my opinion, so feel free to include 2 in this kind of deck. It will shine as well. Then if you want an additional and cheap turn 2 play, we got the last Rhy'tan section, always a very solid neutral common. It tells us with a Battle Honor, but you can also play it just for tempo to deal 1 damage to your opponent and put something on the board. And at least but not last, we got, of course, Honor to Sparch. The Titan Tide kinda went down a little bit now, and if it would cost 5, I would totally play it in this deck, because you can then play it for punitive action, or of course if punitive action would cost 4 energy, because that would be a 10 energy play, like barge into punitive action. That would be amazing. But I don't have any energy refills here. Arascid would help, of course, but that's a very specific scenario, and big boards is actually where we thrive. We want to counteract them with Fierce Onslaught and with punitive action plays, not by putting stuff on the board on our own. So it's counter-synergetic with the way we want to play this deck. That's what's included, but it's an excellent card, very RNG heavy, but it can win you games on its own, so consider it. Alright guys, that was the deck, some alternative cards for it, and we're currently in High Terror as usual. I'm fairly far away from a top 50, and I won't bother this season to be honest, but it doesn't matter. On this ranking you still play against the same shit over and over again, trust me. I saw that it makes no difference if I'm top 50 or not to make the videos. So I'd say let's jump into some games. Torgaddon. Quite boring, but okay. Let's keep the Frag Squad in case he plays the Xetzes.
Sons of the Sunless World, charge!
Probably gonna use the civilians here to draw. Or let's dirty fight it first. Let's just dirty fight it to cycle. Okay. Can't really do anything about that troop there, so gonna draw again. Sin Forgiveness. That really doesn't shine here too much. Second wave on curve. Really like it. Really like it. So, what are you gonna do about it? Right here as well. I'm gonna have Mercy and Forgiveness into counter attack for double Q here. I'm gonna slam into both. Okay, that's pretty smart. Not gonna lie. Doesn't want me to get the Battle Honor off. That's pretty smart, not gonna lie. So let's just play the Night Raptors here. Counter attack, I mean 3 damage saved. I'll take it. And a Dirty Fighter. We get the Nostromo. That's pretty good if he plays the fucking Master. That's certainly what we like to see. Yeah, next time I'm probably gonna set up Shag. What engagement hits? Oh crap. I have to deal with that, unfortunately. I have to deal with that, unfortunately. I can give it minus some attack, I guess. On the other hand, I really need to set up Shag here. It's so bad that this has attack. I don't want to Nostromo yet, this is stupid. Let's just take the 6. Let's play okay. What do we do here? I could Dirty Fighter. Not enough energy for that, like flank this. Yeah. Guess we play it safe, more or less. 3 more damage here if I do this, but don't develop any board. Fine, let's do this. Let's strike squad and do this. I don't want to focus too much on countering his master, honestly, because he might not even play it. Maybe. That's perfectly fine. Next time I'm gonna set up Shag. And call it a day, I think. So, play Master, come on, please. Play Master. Are you really gonna play Master into Shag? Are you? You're gonna play Master into Shag. Oh boy! You should not do that. Nostromo. Let's up Scouts. Dirty Fighter. We don't even need Fierce Onslaught here next turn. I'm just gonna punitive action here, I think. So do you have a stun grenade or something? He even thought about it. He thought about playing into this. Or actually, I'm gonna fuse onslaught. Does it really do much? I have to kill the. Oh, I'm gonna do both. Let's punitive action. Here's onslaught. And rip Windmaster. That was a really bad call to play that. I don't know, he should have just face fetched me and waited until he can kill me with something like Vengeful Spirit or something. So capitalizing on the mistakes by your opponent, but well, now Torgaddon plays, I guess. Oh, fucking Nomus. A really bad matchup. Certainly don't need any of that. Oh yeah, frontline cuts us a little bit. We only have the 4 energy unstoppable guys. Okay, nothing to play here. Pretty bad. Let's draw a card here. Yeah, punitive action in hand, but yeah, 1 turn late. Scouts. Okay. Let's put the scouts here. Don't want to play the Omar veterans yet. I wanna use them as a surprise tool, so to say. Oh, okay. If I have nothing to play, I'm just gonna play the Umar veterans. Oh, Wrecking Claw, that's even better. So let's do this, and let's buff the scouts once. Ah, wrong placement, by the way. Again. That's fine. Unfortunately, as mentioned, I fucked up the placement. So, yeah. But nonetheless, solid here. Kill the Rhy'tan, draw a card. On Dreams, it's okay. Yeah, I should have placed them here. Like, the Wrecking Claw here. I dripped that a little bit. I wish we could get a sheet matchup or Grisha or some crap. Are you gonna play it naked again or what? Will come, I didn't care about that. So, I'm just gonna draw another card here. I'm gonna disable him for a turn. With Reaper, I think. Yeah, let's play the Reaper. Just to play on curve, so to say. Let's play the Reaper. Ah, maybe I should have drawn curve, whatever. And I'm gonna keep the Umar veterans around. Scorched Earth. Alright. You're gonna double Scorched Earth or what? Chaplain. I don't care about that too much. I don't care about that too much if it doesn't have a Survivor. So let's play. I could play on 7 like Umar veterans in this, but I think this is the right time to set up a shack. Or actually, nah. Let's play you here, disable this guy, let's give you blank. Not gonna draw a card, but I will get some nice free damage in here. That's worth something as well. But I don't know, he just slams his troops down without comboing it with keychains. It's kinda whack. Double combat, I'm dead. That's how I asked. So, what's it gonna do? Okay. This should be it more or less. So I'm gonna play the
Lord of Drink
Rooms.
within us.
And now we just do Nightlord stuff. Almost fucked it up, by the way. But yeah, this was a pretty solid beatdown, despite a really bad matchup. I don't know, maybe Drew battle or something. But I'll take it. The next one. Oh hell nah. There's nothing I can do about this guy, I think. Let's forget about these, certainly. Let's just keep the Dirty Fighter. But yeah, no clue what the fuck I'm supposed to do about this guy.
Sons of the Sunless World, charge!
For the Emperor of Mankind.
Well, let's just draw a card here. Man, fine. I have a lot of ways to reduce his attack at least, but test recognition will certainly be a problem. If he also has Paragon Spear on curve, and he also doesn't play any troops, which I'm good at. Certainly gonna face bash. Performance network. That doesn't do anything. Let's play a track squad for tempo. I'm okay with that, actually. I'm okay with that. Because now he needs to trade into this and doesn't draw a card. Hunting Eagles, oh yeah. Alright. I can either set up Shack, but I'm getting a bit low on health here, so unfortunately it's punitive action time. Let's get rid of the Hunting Eagles and he can keep this guy, whatever. Game. Into Auric Motels, okay. Still fine. So, let's see. I have a couple options here. I don't think Shack will do that much. That's why I'm gonna play Wrecking Claw and Dreams to get some free damage in. A little bit wrong placement here by me, but fine. Is he again? And preternatural skill. Alright. Goes into my face. The right too. So let's disable his attack again, in case he does something fancy. And let's just play these scouts. Nah, he's gonna freak up again. Sucks. And blood games. How keep playing blood games? He doesn't. Fucking hell. Actually runs all those Custodes. Interesting. Well, let's disable him again. And play the Night Raptors here. That did nothing, my friend. Did he goof? I think he fucking goofed.
Interesting trick.
Anyway, so let's lethal him or something. I don't know. Raven? How good is Raven here? Yeah. I don't know if I have lethal. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm not gonna count it here. So, yeah, that's exactly lethal. Holy shit, what the fuck was that? That was a really bad matchup, but I think he had a little brain fart there. He set up lethal, but we were able to disable him a couple times. Okay, not the best display of this deck, but it will do, I guess. Abanda! Holy moly. Holy moly. Oh, Fire Sync. He played nothing but Cabana. But I respect that. I respect that. It's pretty cool.
Sons of the Sunless World, charge!
Alright, let's just cycle. Alright, we got displaced civilians into punitive action. That's pretty important in my opinion here, because usually they play for board. Oh, he plays even mission as well. Oh, shit. Pretty good turn 1 play for him here. Will I have something to play on 3? I don't, so we just skip the turn. Too bad. That sometimes sucks here with this deck. I don't want to play civilians to draw, because he might also have a Plague Bearer or whatever they called. This guy, and then he kills the civilians from mutations. I don't want that, obviously. So let's just play the threat and kill the Plague Dude for free. And next time we can either set up Shack or kill something with 400 Dreams. Depends what he's gonna play. I might have another Plague Bearer and just kill this. Yeah, he does. So if he doesn't get a defensive mutation, I'm gonna kill it with 400 dreams, I think. He gets a defensive mutation, that sucks. That means we're gonna just set up Endo's Shack, and I'll probably... I want to face bash into this. I probably don't want to do it. I have displaced civilians punitive actions next turn. That will be 4 damage across this board, so I'll be fine not killing that, I think. Time presence, yeah, that was to be expected to some extent. Survivor 2. Cleave 2. Oh, that... no, not cleave again, please. And rage, okay. That's fine, I think. Let's disable it, say. And call it a day. It has Survivor 2. We need to keep that in mind because, oh my fucking god, dude. Eight attack. Okay, man. Why? I don't understand that. Why did it attack? Okay. Anyway, let's do unit of action does 1, 2, 5, not enough. Yeah, this is obviously pretty dangerous, and he got it to very high attack, so I can't Terra kill it. Let's buff it up. It has 2 more health, so that shit dies. And let's just 100 dreams it. Oh, I can't 100 dreams it. Fuck. Okay, never mind then. Let's just play this and get rid of it. Yeah, it's super dangerous, you know. I hope he doesn't run Planetary Tap, that would be really bad. Double malign presence on the top of the stack, man. Okay. Okay. Here's Onslaught. I'll probably have to use it here. Because it's gonna be out to 8. Let's see. Displace civilians, haunted dreams, fierce onslaught. This would be the play I'd like to make. This will only go up to 8 attack. I want 100 dreams this guy because I don't want him to take too much damage. Yeah, well, whatever. Let's do this. I'm gonna do it nonetheless, I think. Then let's do... man. Whatever, let's still do it. So attack this once. Then Fierce Onslaught this. So I really don't want this to take damage, simply. That's why I took 6. But it's still a good play, I think. And we slam into him for 10. And now he has 1 attack. Yeah. Could be quite a problem for him. Right? Here's the mutation. Playing. He's gonna play the mission. Oh boy, it depends all on the mission. How many big guys will he get? That's the problem here. Oh, he still has the counterattack. Oh no. But we have punitive action. Man, the flank was so fucking lucky, by the way. You're gonna get? Nothing too crazy, honestly. And that's game. Didn't matter if he also got a frontline, since we had punitive action play, but yeah. Alright boys, 4 games, this should be it for today. I hope you enjoyed. If you did,
Smash that like button and subscribe.
you know the drill. Anyway, as mentioned, I hope you enjoyed. This was some games with Malcharion. Pretty good run, and I hope this will motivate you to maybe try him out as well with this somewhat interesting deck, in my opinion. And yeah, otherwise, don't forget to subscribe if you don't want to miss the next video or the next stream. And I'll see you around then. Fade that out.